Okay, everyone, for your practice this week, you're going to practice using the tools in a website called Pixelapp. Now, on your assignment, you will see the website, pixelapp.com. You can just click on that link and it will take you to the website here. Once you're here, the first thing you want to do is sign in. So up here in the yellow boxes, click the box that says sign in. You're going to sign in using your Google account. So you just type in your Google login and password that you use for your Chromebook. Now you can see this is my gallery. I have a whole bunch of little pixel pictures here. What you want to start with, if you want to create a new pixel picture, is click Create Sprite. So go ahead and do that. Now once you're in here, you will see a big blank gray box. One thing that can be helpful is if you turn on what is called the grid. Go to the Preferences, the little gear right here, click Grid, and then click this little box next to where it says Enable Grid. All right, now that we've enabled grid, you will see, if I put color down, you'll see the little white lines that make the grid. Okay, let's go over some of the tools here. I want you to practice using some of the tools. The first tool I want you to use is the Paint Bucket tool. It's right here. Choose a color from the color menu to drop down into your pixel picture here. It could be any color. I'm just going to use green. Paint Bucket, there's a million different combinations of colors, and every time you use a new color, all your colors that you've used previously will start to pop up right here, so you have like a whole color library. You can move this little circle around to find colors that are darker, lighter, and really, really bright. So go ahead and play around with the colors that you choose and see what kind of new colors you can create by moving this little circle around. Okay, now let's practice using the pen tool. The pen tool is right above the Paint Bucket tool. Using the pen tool, it just allows you to make little boxes of color. See, my pen tool right now is very small. It's just one box. If I change the size of the pen tool, though, I can make my boxes bigger by putting many boxes together. See, that's 9 boxes together. This is 16 boxes together. This one is 4 boxes together. So play around with using the pen tool, play around with putting color down, but then play around with how you can drag your pen to make lines of boxes of color. Change your color of your pen tool to see how you can add different boxes of color here. Then I want you to try and use the eraser tool. The eraser tool will allow you to erase a whole section of color. You can also change the size of the eraser tool to make it bigger and smaller. All right, let's practice using the shape tools next. I'm going to erase my whole picture here, and I'm going to drop down a new color, green. The shape tool is rectangle and circle. Find a color that's different from your background and try to drag to make different shapes, squares and rectangles, and then circles. Now you'll notice that your circles are not completely, they're not completely like a normal circle would be. They're not completely curved because they're made of pixels, so you'll see that they're a little bit jagged on the edges because they're made up of tiny little boxes, which are square. So practice making a few pixel-style circles. Something also neat that you can do is if you have defined a whole area with a different color, you can actually drop in a color into these little areas. So practice using your Paint Bucket to drop a color in to different areas that is different from the background color. I'm kind of creating like a really cool abstract work of art here. All right, let's see, what else do we need to use? There's one more thing that I think we might need for this project, and it's the stroke tool. Stroke tool just helps you make lines of pixels, almost like you're making a whole line segment all together. So it just helps you make lots of pixels in one line in different directions. So practice using some different angles of lines using your stroke tool. I think that's it for the tools that we're going to use here. We're not going to use any of these tools because this is for next year when we start to create an actual animation video. We're not going to use that. when you finish your practice today, you can actually save your practice if you want to by clicking the Save button here and click Save to your gallery. And then you can go back to your gallery and you'll see your practice is saved here. And you can see I have a couple little portraits here that I've made of myself throughout the years. So this is what we're going to start next week. We're actually going to start making a portrait together. So just play around with the Pixel tools today. Don't start your portrait today. All right, have fun.